Hello YouTube, and well, I'm back. It's been a while, but welcome to the crib. So, this video is going to be dealing with using a healing specialization class in World of Warcraft, and some of the issues that one might face playing that healer spec in open world content, and how you might want to, but can't necessarily do effectively. Now, there are of course issues resulting from just the nature of healing specs and tank specs in World of Warcraft. And I want to talk about the direction that's being taken in Legion, which is still far away, and in Alpha as the next expansion. So many changes can and will happen. But right now I think the direction that's being taken to combat this and improve upon this is perhaps not the best. And I just want to get my thoughts out there regarding this. So let me know what you think at the end of it, and I'd love to get some discussion going relating to it. Okay, so this morning, I had a bit of a rant on Final Boss TV's latest Let's Talk Legion Volume 4 video. I will link it in the description below. If you don't know Final Boss TV, by the way, really great YouTube channel, brilliant endgame content talk show. You should really check out that stuff. So my rant was basically pertaining to the Restoration Shaman artifact weapon and some of the nodes or some of the upgrades listed in it that really set me off in terms of my thoughts on this. Now, I've been thinking about these issues for a long time, about healer and tank performance in open world content, such as questing, and how they often fail to perform as well in the open world as damage-oriented classes and specs. And they said classrooms. Well, that was weird. So, the core issue there is that damage by healers, right, with the way the game is currently going, to allow a sense of equality across all specs, damage by healers, we should be able to progress just fine in the game world without the need of switching to another specialization, like Holy Paladin switching to Retribution, and Resto Shamans switching to Enhancement or Elemental. I'm not saying healers should do more damage or like straight up as much damage as a damage-oriented class at like full gear and whatnot. But healers just shouldn't be useless. It shouldn't be uncomfortable or unbefitting of a healer to get through the game world on their own. And they are trying to fix that. I want to state they are trying to fix that. They've reviewed and replaced some of the abilities for healers, not replaced, added in some old previous abilities. Holy Paladins getting Consecration back, for example. They're really letting us do some more damage in the next expansion. However, the reason I had the rant on the Final Boss TV video, and that wasn't to the video, it was the Restoration Shaman artifact, is that when I saw, and this happens in most artifacts for the healers, there are nodes in the upgrade system that increase the damage of your abilities. I think increasing healing class damage using artifact weapons is not the right thing to do. I think it's pretty dumb. And it doesn't attack the core of the issue. If you increase the damage via the artifact weapon, you make half the purpose of an artifact weapon to make questing easier for your spec, and it's like a band-aid to try and fix the problem that's ever growing in the game. Now, aside from the fact that you have the damage on these things, flat percentage increases are pretty boring. It feels like leveling up, but without a permanent power increase, as in if you were to get rid of that artifact, you would lose those levels effectively. And I realize this is probably to simulate the progress of item level across different weapons throughout the expansion, because we won't be picking up different weapons, but still. I think because they're so central to our progress in the expansion, artifact weapons should be affecting our gameplay to a greater extent. I do love the sort of the power spikes, I forget what you call them, the artifact power nodes that you get that really influence the way certain abilities work. I love those. I mean, Holy Priest, summoning a Naro to heal with you, that is awesome. That is just straight up awesome. I love it. So my solutions to this are that you should, an option would be to straight up increase all the damage that healing and tank classes do in the open world by quite a large amount, but then, revert that when entering a dungeon or a raid somehow. It doesn't have to be a flat mechanic, but there could be like certain things like a Resto Shaman if you have to use lightning bolt and chain lightning as opposed to, I don't know, just, you know, tidal waves of water crashing down on your foes. I don't know why you don't have water damaging abilities as a Resto Shaman. But if you could do that, maybe make your spells affect enemies, and a soaked enemy is more conductive of electricity, thereby increasing the power of lightning bolt. I don't know. Something like that. Some sort of mechanic of increasing the damage to an acceptable level that fits in with the theme. I don't think there's anything that should stop that. I can't think of any situation where that would break the game. Questing in the open world should be effective and fun for every class, and in order to be able to really get that class fantasy, I think it would, honestly, the best way to solve the dilemma of a class not having a full fantasy, as they love using that word, is just to be able to play that class the entire time for a healer. If you could really use your water elemental powers, I should say your elemental powers of water as a Resto Shaman, to get through every difficulty you have in the world, I think that class fantasy would be solved pretty damn quickly. Now the other thing is regarding the flat increases on the artifact weapon. Move them off of the artifacts upgrade system. Simplify the upgrade system to make it a talent system, simply because, you know, the reason we have the new talent system with the tiers is because they wanted to move away from the old sort of cookie cutter meaningless talent choices, talent trees system. But it feels like the artifact weapon is just that again. Except now it's like there's not really any choice once you get to the end, obviously. So I think they should take out the flat increases and sort of simplify the system a little bit to make it play a lot differently. I think you should be able to choose how your artifact weapon is going to behave for each fight, like talents, you know, whether it'll do huge single target shields or huge single target heals or like maybe huge AoE, I don't know, something like that. Then the other thing is to obviously again add you know, extra abilities or change the dynamic of how that healing class does damage. Resto Shaman, again, this is just my point of reference, using huge deluges of water and like flooding tidal waves and whatnot as damaging spells is really great. I think that sort of fits in with the theme that a Restoration Shaman is attuned more to water. I mean, the core thing that I'm getting at here is just that adding flat bonuses onto the artifact weapon to improve damage and make it viable to quest as a healing class in the expansion, it feels tacked on. It feels not so well thought through. I don't think it solves that class fantasy thing. I don't think you feel more like a Resto Shaman because your lightning bolt is hitting harder at here. But anyway, guys, I've been talking long enough. Please let me know in the comments what you think about this. What do you think about my ideas? Do you think I'm not being very articulate in the way I describe them, or if you think I'm just, you know, making a terrible mistake here. But anyway, please like if you did enjoy this video. I'll be bringing out more content soon, and well, get out of the crib.